about how it will impact our own markets. Our research team is joining in with just that, the trade setup, the stocks that will be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, a very good morning to all of you. Sudarshan, let me come across to you first up. What is the market setup looking like today?
Morning, Sona. So it's going to be an interesting day of trade as we have the cues of last 2 days to react to. So for US market, if we combine the move of last two sessions, major indices have fallen up to 3%. Following Tuesday's sharp fall on Wednesday too, we saw close in the red amid major swings and Fed's decision to keep the rates unchanged. But more than equities, what would be interesting for us today is move in crude in the last 2 days. In the last two sessions, crude has fallen up to 5% and Brent is now back below $84, which is the lowest level in last 2 months. So overall, cues are mixed for today. But if we talk about the last session, that is Tuesday, it was looking like a good day of trade for majority part of the day, with major indices hitting record highs. But in the last hour, we saw a sharp fall, with all the indices at the close was at day's low and falling 1 to 2% from day's high. And for Nifty, culprits were mainly from financials and IT, mainly likes of HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank and TCS. But the fall did not really reflect in the flows, that is in the cash market. Both FIs and DIs were buyers in the cash market for second straight session. And for today, GIFT Nifty is indicating a start with minor gains. On to stocks to watch, keep an eye on few stocks that will be reporting earnings today. From Adani Group, it's two major stocks, Adani Enterprises and Adani Ports are there. Also keep an eye on Federal Bank. Besides earnings, we are expecting other announcements as well.
Okay, all right. Yes, so there's a press conference which is scheduled at 2 p.m. and we have a management conversation lined up as well. Thank you so much for that, Sudarshan. Over to Vamakshi now. She will list out all the stocks that will be on our radar today. Good morning, Vamakshi.
Well, good morning, Sona. Let me first start off with Ambuja Cements. The company reported weaker than expected numbers. The revenue saw an uptick of almost 12%, but the margins have contracted on a year-on-year basis to 16.7%. Net profit is also higher by almost 6%. Havells, on the other hand, reported a better set of numbers. The numbers were higher than what we were expecting. Revenue saw an uptick of almost 12.1%. Margins have come in higher at 11.7%, and the net profit resultantly has risen by 24%. Indus Towers margin has expanded from 51% to 57%, and the net profit as a result has come in nearly 32.5% higher. In fact, the company said that it is in discussion with Vodafone Idea for a revised payment plan with respect to the outstanding dues. Some auto numbers also came in. Maruti Suzuki reported a third consecutive fall in sales on a month-on-month basis, and in fact, wholesale numbers have come in below estimates at 1.68 lakh units. Tata Motors reported a mixed bag as far as auto sales are concerned. PV sales were under pressure. CV sales, however, were strong. PV sales were up only 2%, while electric vehicle sales were under pressure, down nearly 2%. Wipro, on the other hand, has won multi-million-dollar deals to transform Nokia's digital workplace services, and RVNL has emerged as a lowest bidder for Eastern Railway project with almost 391 crores. Watch out for Mishra Dhatu Nigam as well, because the company has secured orders worth 139 crores. And lastly, we will be watching out for Jindal Stainless. They've announced a 5,400 crore strategic investments which will increase the company's melting capacity by 4.2 MTPA.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that list, Vamakshi. Let's talk about the cues from the F&O space. Manglam is joining us now. Manglam.
Good morning. So, if you saw the way the markets closed on Tuesday, you would see a bit of a decline, but you would miss the big rally that we saw in the first half of trade itself. The Nifty Bank as well as the Nifty Financial Services saw their weekly options expiry play out, and as a result of which, we saw those indices decline from the day's high because of the call writing that was witnessed out there. The GIFT Nifty now indicates a mild positive start, and we have three important cues to watch in today's trading session. The first one, the Fed ruling out a hike overnight and the resultant impact on the US markets. Secondly, crude falling to $84 per barrel is a positive for the Indian markets. And thirdly, we have the Nifty weekly options expiry playing out today. In that, the cash market flows were positive for the second day running. The FIs and the DIs together bought about 2,500 crores, so that's a positive. But the headline of this morning definitely is the FII action in index futures, where they've turned net positive, net long after a very long time. So we have 4,000 crore worth purchase in index futures by the FIIs, 47,000 long contracts being added, 15,000 short contracts being covered. And as a result of it, in 3 days itself, FII long exposure has jumped from 35% all the way up to 52%, and the shorts have contracted from 99,000 net shorts to about 16,000 net longs itself. That's the big swing. 22,700 put has been extremely active on the Nifty, telling you that levels at which we closed on Tuesday are an important support, 22,600 that is. And were we to go higher, there is still some congestion around 22,750 to 22,800. And if we go past that at some point, then maybe some punt buying is visible at 22,900 as well. Apart from the auto stocks, we'll have a lot of stocks in focus from the F&O space, and PFC, REC really stand out with a lot of long positions being added on Tuesday's trading session. And a lot of short covering is what we saw on Jubilant Food. Important to see whether that sustains or not.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. So that is the market setup.